guys? Stephen Mike here, Fun Video Productions Live. Haven't done a review for a few months now. It's good to finally be back reviewing things. I know for the next, probably this week, maybe a little next week, I know I'll be doing, like tonight I'm doing Daredevil, the next Netflix series, and then either later this week or next week, we'll see, I'll be doing Age of Ultron. I may or may not be doing that one on my own, I don't know, depending on how things go, we'll see. But anyways, down to the topic of the night. Daredevil Season 1 on Netflix. Now, first of all, I want to put this out there. This series is nothing like the 2003 movie, which is a great start to really, making Daredevil more likable. I mean, yeah, it basically is that. But really, to get into this series, I'm not going to try to spoil too much, but I will just say, in case I do from this point on, there will be spoilers, so you have been warned. But anyways, so Daredevil follows the story of Matthew Modoc, who he's a blind man, but he's been trained in martial arts by a guy named Stick, who was also blind, who's also, I think, either a general or just someone who's trained under like some organization or group that was almost looked like a military or some sorts. But anyways, so Matthew Murdoch, besides being blind and being a crime fighter at night, he's also a lawyer during the day with his best friend Foggy, and the two have been together since college, and I mean, they've had a very long history together. They both went to law school together, which was the college. So it was, the relationship between those two, Foggy and Murdoch, it starts off good. Something happens, I'm not going to say what, that the relationship kind of gets in a awkward place, but then towards the end of the series they make back up, and they're the old avocado bros. Made a joke back in college where they're like, we'll be two avocados in law, and it kind of went from there. So Foggy, talked about him. He's a kind of a go-getter. He's like a campy kind of guy, but I would also say he has a serious side to him as well. And then we got Karen Page, who is their, I don't know, she's their partner, but she's also like their assistant / secretary / person who does a lot of the work at the office. But her character as well has a really, I mean, the first time we actually see her, she actually was a suspect in a murder. And then, of course, Matthew and Foggy proved that she was innocent. Then, she went to work with them. Not exactly the perfect, this is how I was hired story, but nonetheless, oh wow. So anyways, so those are the main three people. Then we get into the non-justice side, which is Wilson Fisk, who is also known as Kingpin in the comics. He had a lot of very good character development. Like we started out with him, like he was a calm, collected guy. He would go to art galleries. And the thing about Fisk is he actually, he wasn't out in the public too much in the series, and that's what he wanted. He didn't want to be seen in public, until there's like the back few episodes where he finally does come out in the public and everybody knows who he is, and but no, he goes from being really calm to being more aggressive to being really like. You can tell his ascent to being the evil kingpin, the guy who he's in charge, he's the mob leader, he's everything of that sort. Then you have his right hand man, James Wesley, who I actually really liked his character because he was sly, but he had a dark side to him as well, which. Again, you have to keep in mind the series in all is a lot more grounded than what Marvel has done, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Agent Carter. It is a lot more grounded than that. It's more darker. I mean, it's a crime drama, so you have to keep in mind, it's not lighthearted like the other stuff. And the series is also a part of the MCU because there are a few nuggets about the series about Battle of New York and when the Hulk destroyed Harlem. There is even a Stan Lee cameo if you can find it. There is one. It's not the usual Stan Lee's. You gotta look for this one. But yeah, I mean, just the fact that the series is a part of the MCU. It's good to know because it's nice that you can take in nuggets from like the Avengers and everything. Because even in the series, there's one point where James Wesley is talking to some men, and he's like, I would understand if he had like a hammer or an iron suit. I mean, obviously nods to Iron Man and Thor. So there are nuggets of the MCU within this series. And I mean, another thing to talk about is Matt Murdock's his suit. Starts out black, kind of like a ninja, pretty much through episode 12. And then episode 13, which is the finale, he gets his red suit, which, by the way, I actually really, really like his red suit. It's a work in progress, but at the moment, I have no issues with it whatsoever. It looks a lot better than Ben Affleck's suit. Yeah, way better. So, I mean, again, not trying to spoil anything really for you, but otherwise, myself, I'm going to say I had no issues with this series. Like, Alex and I actually stayed up till 2 o'clock the Friday that it came out, and I got done watching it the next Saturday night. So, be warned, once you start watching it, you will find it hard to pull away from it, because it's that good. So if I were to give this a rating on our TV scale, or TV, shows scale, I would give this a definite 10 out of 10. It was a perfect series, something Marvel hasn't done in a long time, and that's a good thing. And yeah, I mean, just overall, it's really enjoyable. I would totally recommend you guys check it out. And yeah, I mean, just the cast again. Charlie Cox as Daredevil, and I can't remember the guy's name for Fisk, but he was really good as well. I mean, this whole cast was really, really good. So yeah, that's my Daredevil review without spoiling really too much about it, because I want you guys to find out for yourself. But once you do find out, tell me in the comments below, what did you think about the Daredevil series? Are you excited that they have a second series coming? And again, if you like what you see here, subscribe to me, and I will see you guys for Age of Ultron. Peace.